What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to a British TV show called Would I Lie to You? So, I've really been wanting to check out a British panel show for a while now. And apparently, Would I Lie to You is a very popular panel show in Britain. And I mean, as an American, I don't watch British TV, so I'm not exactly sure what to expect or what exactly this show is about. So, with that being said, let's take a look.
It's David.
I once hired a jet ski, but
Lie, forget it. We need to hear no more, David.
I
What? Huh? Okay, wait, that actually tells me something, actually. So, there's a bunch of different contestants. They have like a cue card, and he's reading a story or something. Like he got a jet ski. And based on the title of this show, Would I Lie to You? So, they're reading the card and it's a made-up story? Or maybe not? And then the other people determine if it's a lie or not. Is that would make sense to me. The show is called Would I Lie to You? You're trying to like guess if they're telling a lie, for lack of a... Let's cut to the chase here. You're just trying to tell if they're lying or not.
once hired a jet ski, but couldn't work out how to stop it, so had to buzz around the bay for 50 minutes until it ran out of petrol.
I take it back. You did.
So, that's the story? That could either be a true story or a fake story. Basically, we're trying to like determine if he once acted like a complete idiot on a jet ski at some point. Okay.
I can so imagine you doing that.
Please.
Petrol.
I take it back. You did.
I can so imagine you doing that.
Please,
Absolutely.
please.
So where was this?
It was in Antigua.
In Antigua.
Was this in your boy single lads days?
He never had those days.
Yeah.
Right. It's your first time on the show, isn't it?
Why were you in Antigua?
On holiday.
Was the Winchester Steam Museum shut? Why were
So, it's not that they just get to guess if it's a fake story or not, or what he's lying about. They get to ask him questions, and he basically has to either put on an incredible performance and answer the questions very quickly as lies, or he's just telling the truth, or I don't know. But they get to ask him, they get to like do some detective work here and try to ask him about it.
Yes, I arrived at the Winchester Steam Museum and it was shut, and so I went straight to Antigua.
When was this?
I think about 2 years ago.
And who were you with?
My wife.
And what got into your...
I don't know, the way he's answering these, this is kind of fun to play, actually. Like, as a viewer at home, you can watch the show and you can play along. I just realized that's obviously one of the fun parts of watching a game show. And so this really allows you to kind of play. And if I'm doing that here, I think he's lying because it's just the way he's answering the questions is like not totally natural, I guess. But there's another layer to this. Maybe I'm going too deep here, but if he's telling a true story, does he win by getting me to think it's a lie? In which case, he could purposefully be answering kind of strangely, kind of hesitantly, to make me think he's lying, and he's actually telling the truth. But somebody who is lying would know that I am going to think that he's telling... Anyway, you can drive yourself, like, insane a little bit thinking about this, but it's fun. It's fun. I like this.
your head? I could imagine you renting a sun lounger and opening up a weighty tome. I can imagine that. I can't see you saying, now you relax here, I'm just going to go and bomb around the bay for a while.
That's true.
Were you with your wife on the jet skis, or did she stay on dry land?
She stayed on dry land.
So you were on your own?
I don't know. It feels like he's lying. And this story is so ridiculous. He was on a jet ski, did he say for like 50 minutes until the petrol ran out and the thing died? He just had to drive around. 50 minutes on a jet ski just driving in circles, that's a long time. I guess it's possible.
Going round.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
weren't with other people.
And it
just
was
you.
your idea.
I thought I'd have a bit of a go.
What were you wearing, David?
Sort of swimming shorts.
What length were the shorts? Were they sort of Daniel Craig or...
They weren't as long as Daniel Craig.
What do you wear?
Like shorts. I said...
What shorts were you wearing? So you try to ask questions to like trip them up and make them say something, or, you know, give away that they don't know the details because it's a fake story.
Swimming shorts. They've got a pocket. They've got a pocket. They've got a pocket, and they've got netting on the inside to keep everything in order.
I don't
John,
know
are you
about
looking back
this.
at your wife?
Ah, look at me.
That's how it happened. That's how it
Well,
went
to be
down.
honest, I'm not like, look at me at all, because I must say, as soon as I get going, it becomes immediately apparent to me that I don't like it.
Oh, no.
Hang on, here's a big question then. You did it until the petrol ran out, did you say?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
did you manage to time perfectly that the petrol had run out just as you got back to the jetty?
No.
So you were stuck now in the middle of the sea?
Yeah. What I didn't do is head straight out away from the coast. At the point where my plan formed, I thought I'll just go up and down quite near the jetty, thinking I'll be able to swim to the jetty if the worst comes to the worst.
So what...
Some people in a panic might have even tried to drive the jet ski onto the shore or the beach, or jump off of it, or... As extreme as that may be, he decided to just ride it for 50 minutes. Could that be You know, this is a good one, because there's just a shadow of a doubt in my mind that he could be telling the truth. I don't know. It's a pretty good one, actually.
What happened then?
away
You
from
just kept going, and then eventually it coughed and spluttered.
Yeah.
Talk us through.
Well, I kept going, and then eventually it coughed and spluttered.
Now, the question is, he wins if we guess wrong. Is that about right? If he's telling the truth, he wants us to say it's a lie. And if he's lying, he wants us to say it's the truth. Either way, that's how he wins, I assume.
All right. Lee, what are you going to say?
What do we think?
Here we go.
You have a great physique.
You've got to warn me before you say things.
I mean, the name of the show is Would I Lie to You, after all. All right, before they give theirs, this is a tough one. I'm going to change my initial knee-jerk reaction. I'm going to say he's lying, actually. I'm going to go with my original reaction. Like, what? It's just like, if it's the truth, that's a weird story, man.
He's like this.
A great physique for what?
For maybe, I don't know, a game of billiards or Cluedo.
Yeah.
And I
my
don't
God.
quite think that jet skiing is completely your thing.
No.
I agree.
I don't even think he has ever been to Antigua.
So you're saying lie, you're saying lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's a lie.
You
Yeah.
say it's a lie.
Go with the team.
Yeah.
David, truth or lie?
It is
Is it the
a
truth?
lie.
All right. Okay, I thought maybe because it was on this compilation of the best moments of Would I Lie to You, that this is like the craziest truth ever. It was a lie. I thought it was a lie. I thought he was answering weird, and it is a lie. I don't know if I'd be good at this type of stuff, because I think I'm inclined to overanalyze a little bit. But I did eventually end up going with lie. So that was fun. And I instantly get why this is such a fun, popular show in Britain. Here in the United States, we don't have shows like this at all. These panel shows that I've heard about, where you got like a panel of different hosts or celebrities or contestants, and they all kind of talk and play a game, and it's funny. I've never seen this before. It's really enjoyable, actually. Really pleasant, casual, funny, and there's a fun game you get to play along. I think this is a really cool genre, you could say, of game show in Britain that we just don't have at all in America. And I'm not sure we could, because I don't know if American celebrities are like witty or funny enough to do this, actually, now that I think about it.
Whilst on holiday in South Africa, I had a 2-minute conversation with what I thought was my wife, only to discover that a small hippo had wandered into the bedroom.
David, Steve, what do you make of that?
What?
Miles, describe your wife to us.
Tall, slender, statuesque.
So did the hippo had a very similar voice to your wife?
Oh!
The hippo was just sort of moving gently around.
This is a good one, because it's so ridiculous, it may be the truth. Because who would tell such a ridiculous, outlandish lie?
Enough for that.
Not in an especially close proximity.
What was the conversation about, and how did you go 2 minutes?
I'll tell you what the conversation was about. It was about me, and I was doing most of the talking, which obviously contributed to my
So
confusion.
where, in fact, was your wife?
I don't know where she was. She was just not...
Have you ever seen your wife again?
So where were you? I'm guessing that this is a safari scenario, am I right?
It was sort of on the outskirts of Cape Town.
Describe the nature of the structure you were in.
Okay, there we go.
Is it a building? Is it on the...
There we go. Yeah, these are the kind of details. You gotta hit them quick with the questions about the details. That's where people aren't necessarily very good at coming up with random details, like off the cuff like this.
4th floor of a...
Did the hippo have to get in a lift?
OK, well, it's mainly bungalows. The resort is a collection of sort of bungalow buildings, largely A-frame wooden buildings with a kind of thatch roof.
Why were the doors so big a hippo could get in?
Yeah, it's a baby
Well,
hippo.
It's a small hippo, isn't it?
How small is a small hippo?
Like
a big
George
hippo.
from Rainbow, or...?
Whoa, wait, he's saying like this big. Hold on. Hippos... Maybe a baby hippo is that small, but why would a baby... That's a freshly born hippo. Why would that be away from its mother, crawling into your hotel room or whatever? I don't know about this.
Very big.
So the hippo was only that big?
Yeah.
It's about the size of a Labrador.
Well, let's be clear. Is that its width or its length?
That is its width, as viewed from behind, and I suspect from the front.
This is worse. Your wife's like the back end of a hippo.
This A-frame bungalow has how many rooms in it?
It's got 2 rooms. At one end, there's a big bathroom, and then there's the rest of it is a very big open-plan bedroom, and it has sort of seating area in the middle of it, and it has a bed at the far end. A very...
How'd the hippo get in? By the way, this tiny hippo, the size of a dog, that's not his wife. Did they leave the door open? They didn't notice?
robust bed, and...
Bed you could make love to a hippo on?
That is speculation, but I wouldn't bet against it.
OK, we're in the bungalow, OK?
I'm in the
Bungalow.
ensuite end.
Yes.
OK. And I'd been shaving and then, you know, shouting over my shoulder. And I realised after a while I'm not getting a lot back here. And I turned round and I saw that I had not been moaning about my career to my wife, but to a baby hippo.
What?
How long was this baby
What?
hippo?
Well, I only saw it from the back, but I imagine statistically it'd be what, probably 3 times as long as it was wide.
Okay.
Oh my god. You only saw it from the back? You saw its butt, so it was walking away from you? You didn't do anything? You just stood right there. You didn't move around or try to get out of the room? In which case you would have seen other angles of the hippo. What did you do after this happened? Didn't you go get help or something, or what?
So broadly, so it was a sort of as long as this desk.
Nobody measures
or two-thirds
animals
of
by
long.
width. Well, you did. Oh, I saw a massive snake. It was this big.
No kidding. Yes.
So what are you going to say? Is he telling the truth?
I think
No. This is such a lie. This is terrible. If this is the truth, he's a terrible truth teller.
based on the width,
Yeah.
it's a lie.
I think that was a panicked reach for width.
On the basis of the panicked reach for width. I think we'll say it's a lie.
You're going to say that's a lie?
Yeah.
OK. Miles, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
It is a lie.
All right. It's a lie, as I thought. This show is very fun. I could definitely see myself like just chilling on the couch watching this show. It's like the perfect mix of comedy. You feel like you're hanging out with your friends. They're banter, funny stories. There's the game element, of course, is important, where you're playing a game and following along. And this is a great show. What the heck? I'd never really heard about this before. And now I finally decided to check it out. I was trying to look up what the most popular British panel shows are, and this one came up a lot. So that's why I decided to choose this, and I totally see why. Very funny, very enjoyable. I'd love to see this kind of stuff in the United States on our TV. Again, I'm not sure we could pull this off, because I don't know if American celebrities are smart enough, funny enough. These people are really funny naturally, and play the game well, and yeah, so I don't know, maybe this is just meant to be a British thing, and I get it, and it's awesome. I really enjoyed this. So anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like, or leave a comment with your thoughts on Would I Lie to You? If you've ever watched this show, what your thoughts on this are, that'd be fun to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to British culture and seeing British things I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.